got music going. Let me adjust this here. All right. How's it going, Jeep and Jamber? For everybody tuning in, we are live on all major platforms. If you want a different view other than the one on TikTok. My name's Sean. I run mailworks.com, where you can find all your chainmail themed apparel and accessory needs. And I'm currently fighting with this inlay, trying to get it all to look uniform and I'm going to stream a little bit. I haven't been able to work or stream really in about a week. I did get some work done, but last time I tried to go live, I nearly died. Yes, I am feeling better. Thank you for asking. I'm not coughing. Well, I guess we'll see. I'm not coughing every time I talk right now, so that was the worst. I would start the stream and then just start coughing like crazy. I'm gonna have to come back and replace this. All right, where are we at? What is this? Weird. My antivirus software popped up. Like, I don't care right now. It said I didn't have anything going on, so yeah, figure this out down here. Oh, let me. What's going on with this camera? What happened to my camera? You finished the creation of your second sleeve? Nice. What the heck? Where's my overhead camera? It's on. It's zoomed in. I mean, it's working. Alright, it's good enough. So you got two sleeves. How much of the body of your shirt do you have going? Alright, let's get some work done. I'm just going to continue to take this straight down. You're in the process of attaching them? Sweet. Alright, so I got to looking at this, and a lot of the lines are too thick, they're messy, they're lines that I made many, many years ago. And not that this project needs to be lengthened anymore, but just trying to make everything look uniform, because it is a repeating pattern. It's one knot all the way around. Your shirt is mostly done. You need to add some length to the main piece. Nice. Well, congratulations on all your hard work. So before I start moving down to finish off the other half of this, I'm about halfway done. I decided to go through and try to make everything look better. Because essentially what I'm going to do is mirror it on the other side. Right? Once I have that done, then it should not be as difficult to try and get everything to look a certain way. And I will, as soon as I weave this last section here, or last ring, I'll show you a little bit about what I'm talking about. So how's everyone doing? What's going on? What's new in your world? You want to ask my opinion on a shirt? Go ahead, by all means. All right. So, well, let me just pull this out here, right? Like this loop up here is the same as this loop down here, which is the same loop as right here and the same loop right there, right? So I'm trying to make all these little spaces similar, and it's kind of worked, right? So that's what I'm currently doing, or what I've spent the day doing. Oh, also, I got a little bit of mail. I contacted a friend of mine, and he sent me, perfect, the 6 rings I needed to finish up this dice bag here, right? So I've got, let's do that real quick. I think he sent me more than what I needed, but if you look at the artwork for Twilight Princess, there's a sort of trim on the edges. How would you propose you go about that? You were thinking you could achieve this with smaller rings, but you weren't 100% sure. The artwork in Twilight Princess. Let's see here. Okay, I'm assuming of Link. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Titanium's crazy. It's 1/3 the weight of steel. Right? I think that's correct. Someone will correct me. If you put wrong information out on the internet intentionally, someone will come along and correct you. Of Link. Okay, I'm looking at the... Alright. Alright, let me weave these in here real quick. Now all we need is some stainless pin shot for tumbling. And I don't know if you can tell, but the larger rings that I'm weaving into this are very light compared to the rest of the rings. Right? They're what, titanium is normally a dull gray. And the rings on this dice bag are darker than normal, right? So I need to get some stainless pin shot, and tumble it and try and get it cleaned up, because it is not cooperating when I've tumbled it so far. And part of the reason is because when I tumbled it with the coffee cup, if you go a few videos back, there's a whole section where I broke a coffee cup, threw it in the tumbler with the titanium rings, and they were lighter than this now. They're very dark now. And when they came out, I'm assuming it's the glaze from the ceramic coffee cup I had crushed. Right? The ceramic did its job and removed most of the burrs on these rings. So that's great. Now I can use these rings. Okay. Alright. So that's done. Do I have any leather lace over here? Hey, look at that. there is just some okay, so the ceramic removed the burrs. Now I can use these rings, right? But I think the glaze from the coffee cup that I broke is what discolored them. So now I got to throw it back in the tumbler, and I also need some ceramic media, right? And 2, 3. Either the stainless steel pin shot or the ceramic media will clean up these rings. Actually, I have a pretty good chance with the ceramic media, but I gotta buy it. I got no funds for nothing right now. So, all right, let's see here. Look at that. Let's see. That's not working. I don't know why my hotkey isn't working. There we go. I'm gonna try and tighten this up. Right? And it just kind of looks like a little dice bag. This is, you can go to 1,000 Renaissance festivals. You're not gonna see a dice bag like this. I guarantee it. Right? Do I have a store? Hi, Teal. Yes, I do have a store. But I sell chainmail themed apparel and accessories. Like, we don't have masks anymore, but it would be like this mask here. So, and then I make stuff while streaming online. So if you go to my profile, link in bio, right? So we got all kinds of fun stuff up there with more fun stuff coming. But I'm super happy with this dice bag. This dice bag's not for sale. I have a few things for sale, but this isn't as quality as I would require in order to sell it. So it's still got some problems. But it is a pretty cool dice bag so far. But I'm glad that you like it. Tie a big knot in this. And just set it over here. Where am I at here? There we go. So yeah. I like it. That dice bag is, we're going to polish it up, clean it up. We got the burrs removed from the rings. It's woven into a dice bag, and then we're going to anodize it eventually. It's a cold key now. You need to warm it back up to a hotkey. Yeah, I don't know what happened to my hotkey for that, but thanks for the follow, Teal. All right, so oh, this is upside down. I don't suppose that it really matters. Fix that. Let me see if I have. All right, Cheap and Jamber. There's a sort of trim on the edges of, like on this picture right here. Where am I at here? You talking about that? I'm not 100% sure what you're talking about. So I'm going to go with, yeah, you could probably make it. And how you go about doing that, I'm not sure. Yeah, that. Let me take a look at that. Okay. So if you use smaller rings, like if you're using 16 gauge 5/16 rings for your shirt, then any downsizing in it is going to it's going to contract the edge, right? So if you're going to make a trim, I would use a different weave or a different color. It's on every edge. Yeah. That is what I would do. But right now, so with what I'm doing right now, I'm trying to line up all these lines, okay, and make them all a similar size. Like this line is really big, but this line comes down here, and this line is really small, so I need to thin this out. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 and 4 rings wide, but it doesn't need to be. Like if I take those out, let's do that. It's like it's supposed to be a finished edge. Well, if you want to put a finish on it, let me pull out my Zelda Twilight Princess manga here that I have, because my son got it for me because he loves me at his book fair the other day. Trying to find. I don't see anything specific. So if we're talking about the edge of the chainmail, like this edge right here, how would you go about finishing that? Okay, I only have one semi-example that I can show you. No, I don't have the rest of the books. My son bought that for me just the other day. That's the only one I have. He spent his money. We played Tears of the Kingdom over the summer. And I've shown my Twilight Princess lunchbox on here. So he knows I have that. And that was, the last time I played that game was before he was born. You were going to say you could reference yours and tell you which book to look in for the best picture. If you're looking to trim the edge to make it look like it is a professional garment, without using a different ring size, and without changing the color or material of the ring, right? Two things that come to mind. And the first one is using a leather lace weaving. This stuff that I just put in this dice bag, that stuff. There's a few different braiding techniques you can use to go through. You go through each ring, and it's a pain in the butt, but it looks awesome when it's done, right? And then the other thing is to take to hem a piece of leather around the edge, essentially, which would involve sewing that into place. Alright, come on. This piece it's so large and unwieldy at this size that it's just ridiculous. If I take off my glasses and all the edges kind of blur together, right, I can get a real sense of like where I need to remove a ring or adjust something. And it's kind of funny. It's like, take a step back and cross your eyes and stare at it until you find like what you need to remove. If I do that. You've been waiting 16 years to see how this inlay ends? Yeah, you have. Soon it'll be done. I'm going to take that ring out right there. We'll see if that's going to give these the lines that... Alright. You take a ring out, you replace a ring, and then you put it back in, and you take your glasses off and cross your eyes and go, oh, that was the wrong ring. Actually, no, it looks like I need to... A lot of times you put rings back where you remove them from. That's... I don't think I pulled the right ring. I did not. Wow. Okay, so... That was a jackass move. I do know what I'm doing, I promise. I think. Enhance. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I did some pro-ho work yesterday. Some professional homeownership work. I got the dishwash or the garbage disposal. Yeah, that's better. I don't have to take my glasses off to see that. I should move the... Well, no, that would make it too angled. So our garbage disposal went out. It's only been 18 years since that garbage disposal was put into place. Not long at all, But it finally died. The tooth on it came out. I was like, okay, well, I had the bolt that held it in place and the tooth that chewed everything up. I was like, well, I'll take a look and see if I can put it back in there, but no, once I got the old disposal out, looked inside of it, and it was just where the tooth had been attached was just completely rusted out. Yeah, okay. That's better. This is nice. I like this line. I don't quite need all of this over here. And I don't need all of this in here, that's for sure. But this, I'm not perfect, but it looks better than it did. Like it almost looks like it comes around like that. All right. So yeah, I got the new garbage disposal in, and of course I wasn't I had first initially bought the wrong disposal, right? And I bought one that plugs into a wall, to an outlet, because I thought for some reason that I had an outlet down there underneath the sink. I do not, right? So I took it back and I went and got the right garbage disposal, one that you have to wire in, which, you know, that's not a giant pain in your backside at all. So I got that, got it in, got it wired in. Not the worst home project that I've had to do, but I don't envy plumbers, and I don't want to do anything related to their job. When you're a homeowner, you're kind of stuck doing a lot of it. You don't want to pay $300 for someone to change out the plunger in your toilet, right? Like that is too much money to pay someone else to do it when any human is capable of doing it. So I have to do that occasionally. I had to do that when we took several toilets when we first moved in. That was not fun. All right. What does that look like overhead? What happens if I cover that up? It kind of looks okay as is. I want to see what it looks like when I'm replace these two black or gold rings with black rings. We'll see. I also noticed today as I was running around the yard with the new puppy that I need to mow at least one more time. I thought I was done. I had convinced myself that I was done with yard work, and I wasn't going to do any more this year. It snowed on Halloween. How was everybody's Halloween? What was your Halloween costume? What did you dress up as? My son went as Roanoa Zorro from One Piece. And I don't really know who that is, but he has 3 swords, and they cost me $30 from Party City. And I thought that was a ridiculous amount of money to spend on a Halloween costume, but I only have one son, so How does that look? I like that better. What if I removed that ring too? What if I just made the whole thing black? That'd be cool. Okay. Like this looks like it comes around, right? Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm going to stop fiddling with stuff for a little bit. I'm going to have to figure out something for here. And this whole center piece right here, I'm going to really, like, it kind of looks okay there. If I can really define it down here, I think I'll be okay. Maybe, we'll see. Plus, it's easy. It's easy to replace toilet bowl plungers. It's not, you know, life-alteringly difficult, but so I did this earlier today, right? And I think that I need to add another yellow ring around the outside of each of these, because now I've just made this too thin. So as far as professional homeownership jobs go, getting the water line to the fridge that we had up here soldered off so that we could replace the fridge. I ended up moving the whole fridge down in the basement and buying a new one. That was a disaster in itself because we got the new fridge. It was a Samsung, and of course the ice box froze up, and it did not want to come unstuck or produce more ice because it was just frozen shut, and they had a big issue with those with the Samsung refrigerators. But anymore, you can just call Samsung and they'll send out a repair tech, and that's what we did, and they came out and haven't had a problem since. But in order to, what's life-altering difficult is a blown drive shaft on the side of the highway with the wrong tools. Yeah. That is life-alteringly difficult. Any vehicle that I worked on, it's hard pressed to get me to work on a vehicle anymore. The last vehicle I worked on was one that I owned, let's see here, back 20 years ago. Easy, while I was in the military. And then I deployed, I came back, I bought a Diamante, and I took one look under the hood of that. I was like, oh, there are far too many wires and electronics under this hood for me to be working on it at all. So I'm just not going to do that anymore. And I drove that around for 10 years, and it worked great, but there was no air conditioning to speak of, really. And I bought it when I lived in Louisiana, and I got stationed in Fort Polk, deployed, came back, stayed at Fort Polk for a year, and then moved to San Antonio, Texas. And so after I deployed, I bought the car and moved to San Antonio. And it's a black car with a black leather interior. And it was a minimum of, 20,000 degrees whenever you got into the car. And the air conditioning, here, I can show you what the air conditioning was like. I just go, can you feel that? Can you feel me going? Okay, that's what the air conditioning was like in this car. It was that good. Finally got a truck 10 years ago now. Almost 10 years. How long have I had that truck? I don't know, it's been a while, but I just, oh gosh, yeah. Please go to my website and find something cool that you love, because I just spent $900 on tires and I'm poor. I do get a $60 rebate though, so that's nice. Your AC has been out for 2-3 years, yeah. Yeah, no. I don't want to deal with that ever again. And I'm certainly... If you give me a older vehicle from the 1980s that has enough room in the engine for you to climb in and close the hood, turn on a light, and just go to work, I'm somewhat comfortable. But once they started adding a serious amount of computers to vehicles, I'm at a loss. My skills are limited to begin with. I did put some air in my wife's tires the other day, though. You can fix it with the whole dash has to come out to replace the evaporator. Yeah, no. Who wants to do that? It's like replacing a heater core. Just got to tear out the whole dash just to get to the firewall. I had a heater core fail on a GMC coming over, towing a boat, coming down from McCall, Idaho. We're driving along. Buddy's driving. We'd borrowed the truck. We're towing a boat, coming back from the lake. We were, 18, 19 at the time. Just two idiot kids. And all of a sudden there's hot water pouring out all over my shoes. I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? What's going on? And all we can do is just stare in horror as the thermostat rises all the way to the very top. So fortunately we got pulled over and we got a ride into town and then grabbed some water and brought it back and just kind of dumped water into the water for the radiator. You need to do the heater core too. It's been bypassed since you got it. The dash has to come out for that as well. Yeah, that's not fun. I don't envy you at all. So, my friend's, I think it was my friend's dad, came to pick us up, and then we had borrowed the truck from a family friend and the boat, and they were stuck in Horseshoe Bend for overnight till the truck got fixed. And then last time I was there, my current truck broke down. We were doing some whitewater rafting, and I'd driven the truck all the way from Wisconsin to Idaho. It runs fine. And at the drop-off to get in the river, we parked my truck there and my brother's rental down at the exit. So he drives us back up once we get done to pick up my truck. And I go to start it, and the damn thing is dead. So it's like, all right, what's going on? Well, they tow it, and I guess that spun the alternator just enough to give the battery a little bit of a charge, so that when it got to the repair shop, they started it up and said it was just fine. But in all reality, I had a dead battery. So, and for some reason, like, we tried jumping it. I have jumper cables in the truck. And for some reason, they did not want to charge the battery at all. It did not work. And I don't know why that's the case, but that whole situation was weird. But I drove it all back across the country, so, and I've been driving it every day since. Knock on wood. You need to get blend doors and a blower motor, then you can do it. You have everything else. Might as well make everything fresh while you have the dash out. Yeah. Yeah, if you're going to get in there at all, just rip it all out at one time. That is 100% what I'd do. I think that I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place right here. This comes round here, but I need to match up these sizes. We don't magically go from, 3 rings wide down to 2, kind of like I screwed up here. So, if I just do this, and we'll bring it around. You will practice taking out the dash at a junkyard first. Yeah, I don't want to mess with any of that stuff. Like, I'm not savvy with repairing vehicles to begin with, so, and especially anymore, it's like, I don't know what I'm looking at, so. Fortunately, I got a brother-in-law who's a mechanic, and he helps me out a ton. So, like, it doesn't end up being too terrible whenever I have something go on. Last time I had a problem was the flywheel got chewed up by the starter, and I had just had the starter replaced like 6 months before, so I'm calling up the mechanic that had fixed it. They're giving me the runaround like crazy. I was like, wait, I'm dumb, but like I'm not this dumb, man. And so I told them to put it back together, and I would take it over to my brother-in-law's, have him take a look at it, and all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, that was probably our fault. We should help pay for some of this. We'll split it with you, whatever. Won't charge you for the half the labor, some BS. And then my neighbor, he took his car to that same shop, and he recently got the runaround from him too, and he told him the same thing. Put it back together, I'm going to take it somewhere else. So I don't know what the status of that story is, but all I know is that I don't go to that guy anymore. I think I had him replace the starter, and that chewed up my timing, or my flywheel. And then I had them do a emissions test on my vehicle one time. That was like the only time I'd ever have them do anything. So I need to make out my Christmas wish list. I need Santa to give me that anodizer, so it'll be a while before I'm able to anodize the dice bag. But like I said, I still need to order the ceramic or the stainless steel pin shot to tumble it with. So there's time. And then it's wintertime and the riding season's over, so I'm going to grab the saddlebags off of my bike, and I would like to do the tops of the saddlebags, wrap those, and then a bib. A bib's going to take some leather work, but after you finish your shirt, your next project's kind of a skirt for your wife. There you go. I don't like that. clothing is difficult, but it's much better if you have the person readily available to you. Right? Like, I don't have a problem making myself stuff because I'm right here. But I know people that try and do custom work and have it like ready to go out the door. And they're always doing adjustments and stuff. And it's like, I have no interest in doing that. More power to them. It's for Ren Fair. There you go. It's for the Ren Fair. I saw someone getting ready for Ren Fair, and this is no slight. I'm not trying to throw shade to people that make stuff for Ren Fairs, or people who wear their chainmail to Ren Fairs. But I'm not trying to be mean, but it might come out mean. I hope that makes sense. I was watching a TikTok earlier today, and this group was getting ready for the Renaissance Festival, and they were putting on these very just simple 4-in-1, European 4-in-1 chains, right? And they had like kind of decorative pieces, not armor, but like belts and necklaces and arm pieces, and it was all just very simple stuff. And I was like, don't get me wrong, I love a good piece of chainmail, and I love that people are interested in it, but there does come a time where you got to look at something and just be like, okay, that's the same 4-in-1 that everyone else wears all the time, everywhere, and it's all very simple. Like, I don't want to call it low quality, because that's not right. I'm sure it's perfectly good chainmail. However, they had a lot of just very simple 4-in-1. And it's just like, if you're going to put the time and effort either A, into making something, or into earning the money to buy something, right? Like, buy something cool. So am I saying I like to be unique? Yes, 100%, 10,000%, 1,000,000%, right? Like this dice bag, right? There's not another dice bag out there with 2 strips of elf weave in it. Not really. There might be other unique dice bags out there, but, you know, there are 1,000,000 dice bags that are like that. Right? There's 1,000,000 of these dice bags. Yeah. This is all square wire stainless steel. This is hefty. You could knock someone out with this. I'm just, like, I'm not God's gift to chainmail. I'm not the best. My mediocrity is so apparent when you see people who are really good at this, right? But even with that said, I'm still, I can make some cool stuff, just that other people make cooler stuff. And so I see people that are just, it's just very basic, and it's a lot of it, right? I think that was the issue. Okay? Not that I have a problem with European 4-in-1 or anything. I make a lot of it. It's just there was so much of just the same thing. And chainmail is one of those mediums where you can do whatever you want, and you can make it as complex as you want. So when it's all just 4-in-1, it's like, okay. If you're a layman walking down the street, you're not going to know the difference, I guess. As long as people have fun at the Renaissance Festival. I don't care. I do care, obviously, otherwise I wouldn't be saying anything about it, but your 4-in-1 is specific to Twilight Princess. Of course, that's why you chose what you chose. To each your own, though. Yeah, but this wasn't like armor, right? Like, this was like a bracelet made of 4-in-1. A necklace made of some kind of 4-in-1. Right? If you're using European 4-in-1 for a shirt, everyone uses European 4-in-1 for a shirt. Right? That's what you use to make shirts. But if you're buying jewelry and you have a 4-in-1 necklace that just looks chintzy, you know, sorry, I don't want to be rude, but I'm being snobby is what I'm being. Life's too short for not cool chainmail. So make cool stuff. I don't know. Yeah, there we go. Fun is the end goal indeed. Yes. So don't let my attitude towards a particular thing affect how you think about it. Just know that there's, you know, you can do some really cool stuff with chainmail, and you should. That's all. That's all. Is that kind of right? I'm just going to keep moving this down because I have another thing to say that's going to irritate people, and I have an opinion about this. Okay, so you're saying small accessories definitely could be better than 4-in-1. I'm definitely saying that. Like, let me give you an example. Okay, so pretend that where my hand is it was just a strip of 4-in-1, 4 or 5 rows wide, right? And there were multiples of them, one around her neck, one around her waist, one around each wrist, and it was like, I don't know, like 6-in-1, even that's better for accessories. Yeah, or 4-in-1 on a bias, or I don't know. I'm being moody and judgy. And I'm going to continue to be moody and judgy. There is a creator out there. The fuck? What did he say that pissed me off? It didn't piss me off. I was just like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. Lost all credibility with me by opening your mouth. He's one of the guys that does a lot of medieval stuff. Like, how good was this armor? I don't know. Let's hit it with a mace to find out, kind of stuff. Okay. Nothing wrong with his channel. It's perfectly fine. What the hell did they say? I'm trying to think of it. Right. It wasn't. He has said that he's called butted chainmail false chainmail, right? And that's not unique to him. A lot of people call it false chainmail, but it's a silly thing to say, right? You can make chainmail out of a whole host of different types of rings, not, you know, and it doesn't matter the type of ring that you use, it's all still chainmail. You're using an established chainmail pattern to make it, right? They could have gone, yeah, with a box chain bracelet. That would have been stellar. I am trying to... Okay, so, yeah. This is chainmail or mail or whatever you want to call it. But to say, like, false chainmail or that it's not real chainmail is ignorant. Because the type of ring that you use doesn't determine whether or not it's real or not. If I hit you with this, it's going to hurt. It's very real. People are like, oh, it's not riveted, so it's not real or authentic or whatever. I mean, they weren't making chainmail tapestries in the medieval period. Also, technology changes, right? Like, we have split rings, we have key rings, we have welded rings now. And all of those do pretty well. You know, when you're, like, shooting with arrows or whatever. I need some more green rings. I am trying to think of what this guy said that upset me. No, I don't remember. It was just a yuppie thing to say. One, two. This is going to be not correctly shaped according to the image, but unless I go back through tomorrow and tear all this apart and redo it, it's just going to be how it is. So I'm trying to think, like, there was a ton of stuff that I did this past week that has kept me busy. You know, taking care of the new puppy and a lot of taking care of the new puppy and changing out the garbage disposal and doing homework with my kiddo. I was really concerned when we got the new dog because that's the day I got sick, apparently. I was just having a severe, what I thought was an allergy attack the day the puppy was brought home. Like, bad. Like, I was dying. And then I was sick for the next week and got an upper respiratory infection, and now I'm finally fine. And I haven't really, like, I pet the dog earlier, and then I touched my eye, and my eye started to get a little itchy. So other than that, there wasn't really, I haven't really had any allergic reaction to him, so that's been pretty nice. I can't really blame the puppy if I have an allergic reaction to him after he's been rolling around in the grass, running around, you know, in the yard and whatnot. Like, it's not his fault. So far, I'm not allergic to his undercoat or him or anything. That could all change in the spur of a moment, and I could just all of a sudden die. That's also a possibility because of how bad my allergies can be. So, if one day I don't show up, and I've been gone for a long time, ask if it was the dog. I'm just kidding. Don't ask that. It's not the puppy's fault. And it's a pain in the butt, too, because he's so adorable, you can't dislike him. But then he pees on your floor, and you're like, oh, or on your comforter. A lot of laundry last 2 weeks because of that. But he's getting better. Well, I think he's getting better. He was not better today. Made multiple messes today. That was loads of fun cleaning that up. And it wasn't like he was trapped inside. He was outside for on multiple occasions. And every time I turned around, I'd go back to check on him and, well, hey, there's a mess. I don't know if I care for this song very much. It's like too happy. Positive, feel no drums. That's too happy for me. Here we go. This feels like here. Smells like something I can enjoy. All right. Come on. Oh, almost lost a ring. I went shopping and got a new shirt that I'm wearing tonight. If you can't tell, it's a Shrek and Donkey. Hang on, I'll show you. I don't know how well TikTok can see this, but I think it's probably okay. Let me get my beard out of the way. But, fuck yeah. I was at Kohl's and they had a Shrek shirt there, and there. So I got that. I've got, I bought something else. A hoodie. I bought a hoodie. Then we bought my son some, what do we get him? Dragon Ball Z or something? Or One Piece or... Uh-oh. Went through too many rings. Oh, I love it when that happens. Yeah, so, silly me, I called up the wife and said, hey, are you on your way home? I want to use your Kohl's card because I thought I could get a better deal on their clothes. Because usually, you know, there's like clearance racks all over the place and getting rid of stuff, getting ready for the Halloween season to be over and get ready for Thanksgiving and whatnot. And so she swings by the store and grabs some stuff, and we use her Kohl's card. And I'm thinking, okay, we'll save a little bit of money. And got the bill a couple weeks later. I don't think I saved a damn thing. It was $320 for all the stuff that we bought, and we didn't buy that much. Definitely didn't buy $320 worth of stuff. So, worth of clothing. I was like, this is ridiculous. So all the trouble to get her there, to use her card, and then it was just like pointless. TikTok views fine, but slideshow ended? Oh, thank you. Is it this? There we go. Dragon Ball is your jam? Now, I was raised in a... the hell was it called? We didn't get Pokemon on the local television channel. We got Digimon. Right? I can recite the whole intro song to Digimon. And I didn't know what Pokemon was. I didn't have cable. I lived in a trailer. We burned our garbage. Okay? So that makes you understand where I started. Digimon is very good. You're the first person just to say Digimon is very good, not Pokemon is better than Digimon. First ever that I've ever met. Anyway, I thought Digimon was pretty good. I didn't know any better, and then all these people later in life were like, Pokemon was the best, man. I was like, I don't know what that is. I didn't really understand it, and I never watched Dragon Ball Z. Had several friends that were into that, and I don't know, man. So, as an adult, my son's going through all these shows, and I have, vague reference material, vague source material from just existing and understanding some pop culture references. You also loved Metabots. I don't think I've ever heard of that. Where the hell was I going with this story? My son watches all this stuff, and I've no reference point for why people think it's cool, because I didn't grow up with it, because I think that's what I was trying to say, or all I was trying to say. It's like I lack exposure to it, and a lot of things. A lot of things were like that. Pokemon, oh, I remember what I was going to say. So the reason I didn't know what Pokemon was really was that you had to have cable in order to watch it. Didn't have cable, and where it was aired, on local channels or something. Boise, Idaho is a test market for a lot of stuff, right? They get introduced to random shows first in a lot of places, and they did Digimon instead of Pokemon. From what I understand, I'm not a TV producer or anything, but when is the Chris Chan cosplay? Chairman Chair. Hello, Chairman. I don't know who Chris Chan is. Who is Chris Chan? Am I going to have to Google this? Let's see here. Chris. I admire cosplayers, some of them anyway. They're pretty cool. I don't know if that's the Chris Chan we're looking for. Chris Chan. Yeah, I don't. Chris Chan, creator of Sonichu cosplay. I don't. No, those words don't mean anything to me. I don't know who that is or what Sonichu is. And none of these images are providing a good reference point. So, not soon is what we're going to go with. You were never able to watch Dragon Ball growing up. Your mom claimed it was too violent, but she let your sister as a kid watch Apocalypto. You never understood why. I'm going to go with your mom liked your sister more. I'm just kidding. I don't know. There's a ton of stuff that I watched as a kid that I don't expose my son to. He's 9. So, I was definitely watching some stuff like RoboCop, Predator, Rambo. What else? I watched all that with my dad growing up. So my son is probably of the age where he could watch some of that stuff. However, he asked me to go see Five Nights at Freddy's the other night. He's talked about Five Nights at Freddy's and what it is for years. He doesn't play the game. He watches YouTubers play the game. And so now he wants to go see the movie, which is rated PG-13. So I don't have any objection to seeing it, but I don't know anything about it, so I have a hard time being like, yeah, okay, we can go watch this. Maybe your siblings all get special treatment. You're the oldest. You're the test run. Yeah. I don't know what time is it. Oh, look at the time. This is kind of good. I kind of like this. I need to make these. I need to add another row of yellow to these two right here. But this, if you step back and look at it, it's kind of circular shaped and kind of similar to the shape in the image, and it's almost what we're going for. You saw the movie Five Nights at Freddy's? All right. All I know is that Matt Willard is in it, and he's been good in a number of things that I've seen. But I don't know anything about the premise, and that makes me nervous when introducing my kids to stuff. You know, I don't want to take my kid to something that he really doesn't know about and then have him, you know, there's like severe graphic violent imagery. Right, I don't think it's allowed in PG-13 anyway. Yeah, so you saw the movie. Is it suitable for a 9-year-old kid? Let me ask you this. Is it suitable for a 9-year-old kid raised in the 80s? Because if it's suitable for a 9... That's how I base my parenting. If my dad would do it, take me to go see it, then I'll show it to my son. But there's a lot of stuff I can't show him. He got scared at Christian Bale in... What the hell was it? Whatever the last Marvel movie was that Christian Bale was in. Thor: Love and Thunder, I think it was. So, we haven't... I don't think we've been... maybe we've seen a movie since then. But, anyway. Alright, where are we at here? Okay. Alright, for everyone watching, let me turn this camera around. Flip camera. Alright, for everyone watching on TikTok, let me show you what we're making here. Right. This is the chainmail inlay. I don't know how many rings are in it, but we're trying to make it look all pretty and nice, and we've got about half of it done using anodized aluminum rings. Right. And trying to make the other half here pretty soon. This was a large project sitting on my desk that I wanted to get rid of. But it is almost 10 o'clock, and I've got stuff to do before I go to bed tonight. So, alright, let's see here. Okay. Get this all rolled back up. Alright. You're not sure? That's a fair answer. Okay. Let me roll this up. For anyone who's new to hanging out with me, I normally stream a few times during the week, and then I'm trying to make videos as well that relate to chainmail. And now that I'm feeling better, I've been sick this last week. It's been awful. Last almost 2 weeks. When did I get sick? I don't know. Whatever day we brought the corgi home. Right? So now I'm feeling better, so hopefully I'll be more productive, and you will see me more. But if you want to learn more about chainmail, right, you can go to the link tree in my bio and check out the Mailworks app, where you will find multiple resources for where to start, manufacturers of chainmail supplies, tutorials of different chainmail weaves, just a whole bunch of resources and tools for people who are new. You'll find my live streams on there, and actually I need to fix that. But the Google app, the app for Android, should be working just fine now. It wasn't before, but I got it all settled with Google. And the Apple one's been working just fine, the Apple version. I'm thinking about switching to a progressive web app, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, so if you're interested in learning more about how to make chainmail, please go check out the link tree in my bio. Download the app and start your journey on weaving together metal rings into whatever you want to make. And I do appreciate you hanging out. Be sure to check out mailworks.com for all your chainmail themed apparel and accessories. And we have a lot of cool stuff over there right now, and hopefully I'll have some more stuff over there soon. So thank you for hanging out. I am feeling better. Glad we made it through the stream without me coughing and dying. But I will see you guys maybe tomorrow, probably sometime this weekend. And you all have a wonderful evening. So thanks for hanging out. Bye. All right. You don't know how to explain it without spoilers? That's cool. I get it. There's blood in the movie, not a lot. Okay, well. He was like 6 whenever Blood and Thunder came out, and he's 9 now. So if he can't handle a little blood, then he needs some exposure therapy. I might take him to go see it. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But anyway, Jeep and Jamber, thanks for hanging out, buddy. I do appreciate you being here and, your support and letting me know when something's not working. Anyway, I'm going to get off of here, and I'm going to go and finish up all the stuff that I got to do for the rest of the night. So you have yourself a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you later. All right. Look up a spoiler-free review. I can try that. See you next time. Yeah. We'll see you, man. Appreciate it.